What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and of course, Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Let's see, y'all. I'm sharing this. If you're on Facebook, as always, please like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. And if you are on YouTube, please hit that like button. And if you've not done so yet, please subscribe as well. Like and subscribe. I don't know if I like that button right there. I think I might leave that unbuttoned. What do y'all think? Buttoned or unbuttoned? I think we'll go unbuttoned. Episode 1122 today. Been doing this a long time, y'all. LSU baseball. Today, Tigers. What does that do? Oh, yeah, that's what I want. Why am I not seeing my comments over here, though? That's the thing that's perplexing to me. I want comments. It's not giving me my comments. Anyway. Okay, y'all. Let's say some good mornings here. LSU baseball today against ULM. Will Helmers will start. Paul Maneri on Monday met with the media. Kind of sort of explained why to this point Helmers has not started in game 3, and basically said because the opportunities Helmers has gotten in SEC play, his secondary stuff wasn't good enough. That's perplexing to me because I would say the exact same thing about Blake Money. But at least Helmers is a strike thrower that's been able to get guys out at times. Really just interesting. Anyway, cancel that. Sometimes, bro. Sorry. Did we go off on Facebook? Oh, I think I might have killed our Facebook feed. No, we're there. I think. I don't know. I don't know if I killed Facebook. I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is so weird. I was trying to share it, and I think I killed Facebook. I mean, we're right there. I think we're still live on Facebook. Hang on. Sorry, y'all. I know this is... Yep, I killed it. God, dog it. Sometimes I hate Facebook. Well, it just says interrupted. How do I go back to the page? Y'all, I'm so sorry. I know you're not like watching me to watch me fiddle around with this stupid thing. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry. Okay, I think we're back on Facebook. Sorry. Yeah, I lost everybody that was watching on Facebook. I'm so stupid. Whatever. Okay, thank y'all for watching, as everybody who does watch. I appreciate it. I think I killed it again. All right, let's just go to YouTube. I don't know what's going on Facebook. I tried to share the post. I think it killed my stream, and I'm not starting it again. So whatever. Okay. Stephen Miller, good morning. Bubba Tatum, good morning. Trivia Carter, good morning. Merrick Mathern, good morning. I don't like this shirt. I don't like the way it feels now that I'm wearing it. I'm probably going to change my shirt. Let's see. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Team Drew. Cliff Nelson went back and watched Sunday's Ask E-Rock. Tell her I said thank you. You got it, Cliff. Absolutely will do. All right, so it's just 12 of us hanging out here on Morning Scone today on YouTube. So, since Facebook, I think, died, my live video on Facebook has been interrupted. You know what I'll do? I'll just cancel out of that. Cancel out of that. Let me see if I can just start a stream somewhere on Facebook to start up again. That says I'm live. I don't get this Facebook thing, y'all. I don't know what's going on today. I don't know if I'm live or not. Can somebody do me a favor, please? Since I'm currently occupying all of my devices. Brent Torres, Facebook sucks, move to YouTube full time. I'm not opposed to that, Brent. The problem is I have a gigantic audience already on Facebook that we've built up over 3+ years, and asking everyone to move might be a fundamental shift that I make, but it's also silly not to be on both, because if somebody does prefer Facebook, you'd rather be there if that's what someone prefers and where they hang out. And the other part of it too is that Facebook does allow you to share, right? Morningscore does allow you to share the post. Oh, Facebook is on. Well, now am I going for a second feed on Facebook? All right, well, I just started a second feed on Facebook, whatever. All right, let's just see what that does. All right, back to YouTube. Sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience with that. I know that was probably 7 minutes of your life you wish you could have back. For the 10 of you who stuck with me on that, I apologize. But anyway. Let's see. Stephen Miller, I'm 10,000% off Paul. Yesterday's interview just totally broke the camel's back. I'm assuming you're talking about Helmer, Stephen. And I mean, I'm with you. I just don't understand. Like I've said a million times, and all you've heard me say a million times, as long as you have sound logic for whatever decision you make with respect to strategy in baseball, I can live with the result. As long as there is sound logic. And you can agree or disagree, and that's where debate can come in. But I just don't think a lot of times there's sound logic, at least based on the information we have. Now, maybe he knows things that we don't, and is privy to information regarding players. Maybe he's protected a player. This, I don't know, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And you're not getting results either. That's the other really difficult part about it. Merritt Mathurin Facebook feed, I've restarted it, yeah, so thank you. It's just loosely titled, but anyway. What's up, Facebook? Josh Long, Andrew Brister, AJ Holland, Devin Kelly. Thanks for jumping back on, guys. My apologies. See, to whoever said, I think it was Brent, said Facebook sucks. Like, so there's 14 people watching on YouTube right now. On my second stream on Facebook with no title and a big goof up, I'm already at 41. I mean, we're at 4 times the audience, and it's, yeah, anyway. So my apologies for screwing that up earlier, but if we ultimately see, like, right now, if I'm Facebook, YouTube, if we ultimately see this, then I'll cancel Facebook and make everybody just come to YouTube. But in the meantime, we'll stay there too. So, AJ Holland, we really live on this one. Yes, we're live, AJ. I see you now. Andrew Brister, Scone, do you think Maneri coaches for LSU in 2022? I'm going to say no, Andrew. I think, a lot of people are asking, is Maneri going to get fired, this or that? My feeling, what I've said time and again, is I think that he retires after this season. I think just a lot's happened in his life personally. I think he always wanted to coach through this contract. I know he always wanted to coach through this contract, which is 2024. But I think that there's enough people I think, pushing in that direction now. Craig Dugas, good morning. Troy Shatner, good morning. Just had double transplant kidney pancreas. Oh my God. Well, Troy, man, we'll certainly keep you in our prayers, and we'll also pray for the transplant family as well. Obviously, when you receive a transplant, somebody passed. So, prayer of thanksgiving for that person, their generosity, love and care for others. Prayer of comfort and peace for that person's family, obviously. And then thanksgiving and healing for you, for sure. Joe Juba, good morning from Santa Maria in Baton Rouge. I know where that is. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, man. I guess that's tomorrow, right? We said Wednesday. Didn't we say Wednesday? We said Wednesday, right? We said Wednesday, right, Joe? Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday? No, not Wednesday. Thursday. I got another one Wednesday. Thursday. Chuck Sanchez. What's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Cartwright. Alden Cartwright watching. What's up, dude? Shelby Kelly. Justin hit another one last night. 109.2 off the bat. That's awesome, man. Congrats. Craig Schilling. What's going on? No problem, Matt. You have to encounter 2 years worth of technical issues to catch up to Hanny and Jim. The difference is they could just be not hitting the go live button. I love those guys, though. Devin Kelly has the game pass pulmonary by. No, that's the great thing about baseball, Devin, is it's the one sport where generationally the game doesn't change. It's not to say that you don't go through stretches where it's pitching dominant or hitting dominant, but baseball is baseball. It's why you can compare statistics from Babe Ruth and Albert Pujols, even though they played 100 years apart, because baseball is baseball. It's why you can compare Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout. The game is the game. I mean, the mound's 60 feet 6 inches, bases are 90 feet apart. It's the game is the game. So no, I don't think the game's passed him by. I think, and that may not be what you're asking, Devin, but sometimes coaches refuse to evolve. Like Les Miles in football refused to evolve to the offensive nature of the game. The game passed him by. That's not the case with Mainieri. I think with Mainieri, as we've talked about here, the biggest problem Mainieri has is he doesn't have a specialty. What I mean is, when Skip Urban was the head coach, Skip was the pitching coach. He handled all the pitchers. And when you only have 2 full-time assistants, the head coach has to do something. You have to teach pitching, hitting, or you have to recruit. And Paul doesn't do any of those. Nolan recruits, Alan Dunn's the pitching coach, and subsequently, they have to get a volunteer coach like Eddie Smith to be the hitting coach. And you're just not maximizing your staff. And I think Paul's lack of connectivity in recruiting hurts. When you go to showcases and Tim Corbin's there and Kevin O'Sullivan's there and Dave Van Horn's there and Nolan Cain's there for LSU. Nolan does an awesome job. Don't misunderstand me. This is not a knock on Nolan. I mean, he has hauled in major recruiting classes. But when your head coach isn't engaged and involved in that process, I think that's a problem. So, I think that has caused sort of this miss in recruiting, and maybe not piecing together the roster exactly how you thought or hoped or would like it to be. So I don't know if that answers your question. Barry Day, Matt, if Paul retires, who's next? Barry, I'm gonna tell you this. Now, some fans may just be in the mode where they're like anybody but, and I'm fine. And so interesting too, because how different this conversation might have been if they just held on in the seventh inning, right, on Saturday. But anyway, I think LSU fans, whenever they go look for a new coach, are in for a rude awakening, because LSU is not the best program in the country anymore. It's just not. Everybody has resources. A handful of teams in your conference have built new stadiums since you opened the box. Everybody pays coaches. Everyone invests in their program now. And LSU hasn't won a title in 13 years or 12 years. Whatever. It's been a long time. You're elite. You're still an elite program. But you're not the program that's going to go handpick anybody and say, come on, and they jump. A lot of coaches are going to look and go, you're not that guy? No, I'm good. Just the reality of it. So I think if you're sitting there thinking, oh, go get Corbin, go get O'Sullivan, go get one of the, yeah. Well, I would have said Brian O'Connor at Virginia. He won a national title, but they have been so hot since. But Trivia Carter, good. Facebook's trash. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Cliff Nelson, Facebook is dead. Everyone moved to YouTube. Stephen Miller on the irony, all the clicking, and you killed off Facebook. Kind of like what Pulmonary has done all season with his clicking, aka tinkering. But Stephen, he's done that his whole career, man. That's like, he's come up snake eyes, and a big part of it is obviously he's starting 3 freshmen, denying that. But come on, like, the tinkering thing that's been his MO his entire career. I'm not saying I like it, but he's won a lot doing it his way. John Melanson, Brandon English, Brent Torres, Bubba Tatum. It's because I'm here. Facebook knows you're entertaining a convicted Facebook felon on YouTube. Oh man, that is weird. Facebook will throw you off if you post about COVID or about Trump. That they throw. I've had so many people say I'm in Facebook jail. People posting about COVID and about the president. I guess, well, not former president. I guess, but you know what I mean. Who cares? Jason Mobile, good morning. Trivia, where's Kirk? By the way, Erica's mailers came in, so everyone who was asking about a Hudco hat being mailed, those should go out tomorrow. FYI. Cliff, do you share the YouTube link on Facebook? No, I tweet the YouTube link. I don't share the YouTube link on Facebook because I'm live on Facebook. Why would I share the YouTube link on Facebook when people are already there watching on Facebook? T-Bone 0910. Paul has 0 fire. That's a bold accusation, man. I can't get down with that. Trivia, any football news? Not really. After the spring game. I mean, Ed Ogeron was off the bench this morning. I'm sure he didn't say anything because he never does. Brady Smith, morning, Matt. Any update on the women's basketball coaching search? Nope. All I can tell you is as of Friday, they had not called Kim Mulkey. I know that for a fact. That was as of Friday. Brent, Les Miles syndrome in baseball. No, I kind of explained that too, the difference. Les refused to evolve offensively, and that cost him. I'm just talking specifically about the on-field stuff. That's not the case. I think I'd have been curious to see how this year might have gone had Jaden Hill stayed healthy. Had Jaden Hill and Matthew Beck stayed healthy, you would have had a more reliable arm in the back of your bullpen, and then you would have kept your starting rotation in place. Marceau's been awesome. That's been a huge bright spot. And you've seen improvement. I mean, but the 3 best players on your team right now are all true freshmen, with Cruz, Morgan, well, not Doty, but Thompson's bumping up in there as well. Anyway. Tomas Pena, morning, Matt. I'd be happy to see the Saints trade down in the first round to add more picks if the top guys aren't there anymore. This is the year to do it. So, Tomas, I kind of disagree, man. So, by the way, you and I both know that's not happening. Um, I mean, Mickey Loomis and John Payton trading back, they've never done it. They trade up in every draft, but they don't trade back. So, that's not happening. And I would actually rather see them go the other way. I would rather see them be aggressive and move up to get a defensive starter if there's a guy you feel like you want. But I also think in a draft where you know you're going to have five quarterbacks, at least four, likely five quarterbacks going round one, that's going to push an elite defensive player down. I mean, just when you start counting it off, I mean, you got five quarterbacks. You got Penei Sewell, which is six. Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith. That's eight. That's eight offensive players right there. Kyle Pitts, nine. You start churning through those offensive players. It pushes elite defensive players down. So you know you're going to have at 28 an elite defensive player who you had graded higher than 28 is going to be available just because of the numbers. So I'm I'm no, I'm bullish on staying there at 28 or moving up and getting the best defensive player available. Brian Jones, Matt, can you give a brief recap of the spring game? Who stood out? I've been working the last few days and missed out. Catch me up really quick. Brian, here's what I would strongly recommend you do. If you go listen on podcast to the very first segment of AFR from yesterday, I gave my recap. But just very generally, I think pretty confident to say Brennan and Johnson were the quarterbacks that looked the best. The other two guys turned it over a bunch. They don't have any running backs or linebackers. However, they literally were playing a walk-on linebacker at running back, and they were missing maybe their top three linebackers. So with those additions in the fall, they could be better at those spots. Secondary looked much better. Communication was much better. Offensive line is still a gigantic work in progress, and I don't know that unit's going to be good enough. I think this is a team. I think you got to think of this year like 2018, coming off a bad year in 2017. They started the ascent in 18 and then peaked in 2019. I think this is the year where you hope you catch the ascent. Troy Thibodeau, with the draft right around the corner, big Dolphin fan. How do you think Chase would look in a Dolphin uniform? If they get Jamar Chase at 6, I would say that's as close a thing to a can't miss prospect as you'd find in the draft. I know that's like a bad word to NFL front office people to say can't miss, but you give Tua a legit number one receiver, I don't think there's any doubt. That would be danger. Shelby Acuna, aka your 2021 MVP, is day to day. Lucked out there. I like Acuna. I like that young Braves talent. Hang on one second. Drew's back past people. Hang on. We had a long night, y'all. Drew woke up at about 4 o'clock, just like sobbing in his bed. And the thing is, he can't tell you what's wrong, right? So he woke up just like sobbing in his bed. And so put him in bed with us. And he kind of laid on Erica, and he was calm. And every time she tried to put him down, he'd start sobbing again. So we were up from like 4, whatever that was, until I think he finally fell back asleep around like 6:10. So we had a long night. So he's still sleeping. Hey, come on, man. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, which I love, by the way. Please don't curse on here, man. That's not, no, like, more. I'm deleting your message. Um, uh, that's just not what we do on Morning Scone. Like, I don't do politics. I don't do uh, any of that, and it's more family oriented. People watch their kids and all. So, like, if you're new, thank you. Like, thank you for finding us and for hanging out. But that's just not the place. Come, like, okay, again, like, like if you do it again, then I'm gonna block you. Please don't make me do that. Like, I don't think I've ever had to block anybody, like ever. Um, okay, trivia, you're a moderator. Don't abuse the privilege, trivia. But yes, you're a moderator now. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, you do not get to be a moderator. I've had to censor you. You're the one who needs to be moderated. Oh, yeah, as always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. 6 locations around the greater Baton Rouge area. Of course, a primary location right there, Blue Bonnet near Perkins, inside the Surgical Specialty Center. LSU's team docs, Saints team docs, all Brock docs. So check them out. Of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Y'all help us spread the good word, man. Hudco, we had some great response to, obviously it was bad weather last week, and been humbled that a lot of people have given us a shot to come do their inspection and see if you need a roof repair, roof replacement. So give us a shout, HudcoRoofing.com. You can put your info right there on the contact form at HudcoRoofing.com, or you call us. There's even a text little bubble at the bottom right of the website. So if you'd rather text, you can do that too. HudcoRoofing.com. Hey, Dawn Jolibois, good morning. Brian Jones, read a lot of negative on Cardell Thomas and his inability to evolve to the player we thought he would be. Do you see him sticking around the program? I don't know, Brian, if he sticks around. I don't know that he ever plays. I think Cardell Thomas is a great example of, look, sometimes there are in-state kids that you have to take. You have to take when you have a guy that's that highly regarded, even if it's not a player that you necessarily think. I'll give you a better example. Hootie Jones. Hootie Jones was a highly rated 4-star safety from North Louisiana, and people around here melted when Hootie Jones went to Alabama. But LSU got Jamal Adams. LSU liked Jamal Adams better. They thought Jamal Adams was a better player, but they had to go after Hootie Jones because he was an in-state kid. And you can't just let that in-state kid go for a lot of reasons. Obviously, there's reaction to it, but then the perception of Bama taking a kid from in-state, and then also, what about future recruits from that school if you don't recruit that kid? There's a lot of that goes on. But like, it wasn't lip service. LSU really didn't love Hootie Jones as a player. They preferred Jamal Adams, and they were right, by the way. Similar with Cardell. Cardell was a guy that, as a gigantic dude, was throwing around smaller, 1A defensive linemen. But when he got to elite camps, you started to see his ranking drop. Lost his 5th star, and he dropped as an overall prospect. There was a reason, and you're seeing it. He's overweight. He doesn't have great feet. He doesn't have great upper body strength. He's a good, not great player. But he's a guy that you have to take. TJ Finley is another guy who's big, strong-armed kid, and Louisiana hasn't produced a ton of great elite quarterbacks. They liked Max Johnson better, but they took 2 quarterbacks because you have to take the in-state kid. Devin Kelly, I'll disagree. I don't think you can compare Babe Ruth to anybody today. Nobody back then was throwing. Yes, they were, Devin. People did throw 100 miles an hour back then, and they did command multiple pitches. Yes, 100% they did. Brian Jones, Devontae Lee, what position do you see him staying at? He's moved around a lot. Also, Trey Palmer. Does he get an opportunity with loaded receiver room? Um, I don't know why they haven't stuck with Devontae Lee at safety all along. Apparently now he's playing some kind of like hybrid linebacker. It's just hard to see him getting on the field. I love Trey Palmer, but that wide receiver room is so stacked. Maybe with injury, which does happen, but I think you're obviously going to have Keyshawn Boutte. I think Jeray Jenkins is your number two, and then some combination of Coy Moore, John Trey Kirkland, Trey Palmer. Those are your next guys, and that's not even counting the freshmen who are coming in. So, shall see. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Craig Dugas, you're saying LSU basketball is greater than beach volleyball, is greater than track and field, is greater than football, is greater than drone racing, is greater than baseball. Boot up, Paul. Trivia needs to come back to Facebook. I need my crayon eating friend. Oh, Trivia. Kirk's calling you out there on Facebook, man. Merrick, is there any freshman O lineman coming in that could push for playing time? Garrett Dellinger is already on campus, but I don't think so. If y'all missed Derry Beckwith on AFR yesterday, go back and listen to it. Derry's just super smart, man. I mean, played middle linebacker on a national championship team, just understands both sides of the ball, is really good. And he mentioned something I hadn't really thought of, which is the fact that Austin Deculus may have a chance at a pro career at guard, which I hadn't thought of. But as big a dude as he is, that may actually play out in his favor to where, I mean, he'll never be a tackle. He just doesn't have the feet to be an NFL right tackle. I mean, he doesn't have the feet to be an SEC right tackle. But that's one to keep an eye on. Maybe if you move Deculus inside, could you move somebody? Could Doomerville play right tackle? Would it be a better option there? If you move Deculus inside, is he a better option than Jason Hines at guard? I don't know. Let's see. Craig, let's be honest. They're not calling Kim. They're looking to spend $600, $800K a year. Maybe so, Craig. But I would also say, Craig, never underestimate. Remember, Scott Woodward was also the athletic director at Texas A&M that gave Jimbo Fisher the $75 million contract. And he went to Virginia Tech and got Buzz Williams to go to A&M. He's also the coach that got Chris Peterson away from Boise to go to Washington. So he's pulled off some coups, man. Like let's not shortchange him there. Is LSU willing to spend $2.5? Because I believe that's what it would take to get it done. If LSU's willing to spend $2.5, I think they could get Kim Mulkey. I don't think I know they could get Kim Mulkey. I just don't know if they're willing to spend it. But do you have that booster that's willing to step up and fork over cash for women's basketball? You got them for football. You got them for basketball. You got them for baseball. I don't know if you have it for women's basketball. Shelby, the luck for Palmineri was bound to run out. Even Scone cold lead pipe blocks ran into a rough spell. Palmineri is the winningest active coach. He's had a good run, been at it a long time. Everything piled up on him the last 2 years. But the only thing, and maybe it's just semantic shit, Shelby. I just have a problem saying the luck ran out. It's implying that he was lucky to have had the success that he's had, which is just not true. And maybe that's not how you meant it, but anyway. Blaine, I think Lions and Saints may do business now. Campbell and Peyton could do some trades. That's fair. Atlanta, too, much in the same division. I mean, Terry Fontenot's their GM. But I don't think the Saints are going up to 4. Let's see. Do you go linebacker or corner? Need a guy opposite Davis and opposite Lattimore. Do you take the third or fourth option at corner or the second or third option at linebacker? I think it's whoever's on the board, man. I mean, what happened there? I mean, I think you realistically have to look and say, all right, who's the best option available? And I don't care what position it is. Ooh. Something messed up there on Facebook again. Fitz Magic for Hall of Fame. Nah, bruh. Kirk, I mean, it was only 3 full seasons ago. Can't be in the Natty every year. Had some heartbreakers the last few. Kirk, well, I mean, normally I'd agree with you. Look, man, 17 they came along. 18 was obviously not a great. 18 was a very disappointing year. They did not host a regional, which in my opinion should be the baseline expectation every year. And then in 19 they did host a regional and hosted a super, but that's only because there was an upset and they lost the super at home to Florida State. They were not going to be super strong last year, and then this year's obviously gone the way it has. I don't think you can say that they've been competitive. I think you're going on a full 4-year cycle now where you are not nationally competitive. That's a problem. Drew has some skins on the wall at the block party. That's true. Drew used to banhammer people. There's no doubt. Blaine Smith, with the Lattimore arrest, is it possible the Saints would trade him before the draft? I don't think so, Blaine. Everything I understand is that that's moving along and likely to be explained away. So, I don't think so. Did we lose Facebook again? Facebook killed Morning Scone. I think we did. I think Facebook is dead. Yeah, Facebook died. Facebook. Eric Wilder-Rotter, I completely agree with your assessment of Damone Clark at the end of the day. Is he too soft to play linebacker in the SEC? No, that's not the case at all. He's just out of position, Eric. Damone is a guy that is better using his athleticism to get off the edge, to rush the passer, to go make plays in space. Playing inside is a completely different position where you have offensive linemen firing off at you, you're in the wash, and you have to read and react and be very anticipatory and then aggressively explode. That's not if you're too soft. It's just, what is your skill set? It's no different than like Patrick Robinson as a boundary corner was not very good. Patrick Robinson as a nickelback playing in the slot is really good. I mean, that's just Kevin Mawai was a Hall of Famer as a center. Kevin Mawai could have never played offensive tackle in the NFL. Make sense? Like, where you play, what your responsibilities are, do matter for your skill set. So no, Damone Clark is not too soft to play in the SEC. He was just out of position last year because he's not a middle backer. Brian Jones, Ty Davis Price, or John Emery. I thought Emery had the better potential, but it seems Price is a more consistent player. I think they wanted more of an emergence from Ty Davis Price. Here's the problem with Davis Price, Brian. And I like him, by the way, too. But he's not a make-you-miss guy. Very much like, and I'm going to use this, but he's very much like Darrell Williams. And Williams has carved out a nice NFL career, so maybe this is the best example. But he doesn't have make-you-miss ability. And so if you're not going to have make-you-miss ability, you need to be able to run people over. And he also doesn't have that. So he's kind of... Ty Davis Price, they really challenged him this offseason to be like, hey, lose some weight, get a little quicker, kind of improve the make-you-miss opportunity. He's got a lot riding on him. Otherwise, I think it's John Emery, it's Trey Bradford, and it's Corey Kiner coming in. Nope, Facebook ended. No Facebook. Whatever. All right, Cliff, see you, man. Have a good one. Trey, Kirk, I should go back to that poop factory called Facebook. Greg Schilling, what's up, GOAT? Matt, do you think Coach Mulkey's candor about lightning rod topics will cause Woody some pause about hiring her due to current LSU media climate? Great question, Craig. No, I don't. I think you have the opportunity to hire a coach that has been scandal-free and has had championship pedigree. I think you absolutely do it. I think that's the injection of life into this athletic department that they desperately need, with a lot of clouds hanging over them right now. And let's be real, y'all. If football, basketball, baseball are all making coaching changes, I'm not saying they are, don't misunderstand me, but all have clouds hanging over the program. Football and basketball, men's basketball, have dark clouds hanging over their programs. And baseball is not performing, so you may well be replacing your coach this year. We may need women's basketball for the feel good. Anyway. Andrew, hey Cajun, Facebook was a good 15 years ago, LOL. Was good 15 years ago, LOL. Man, I used to love Facebook when I was in college. Shoot, man. Facebook is where you went and put all your party pics. And then they let everybody's grandmas on. And then everybody just ran away. Went to go find a new spot. And for those that don't know, Cajun Marine on there is Trivia Carter. So Trivia Carter from Facebook, that's Cajun Marine on YouTube. Okay, y'all, I think we're done. So sorry about the broadcast screw-ups today, but LSU ULM baseball tonight. So Locked on LSU podcast coming up today. 22 people watching right now on YouTube, only 20 likes. Please, 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 if you're watching, if you've not done so yet, please hit the like, the little thumbs up. It is so important. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, Locked on LSU coming up today. AFR at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have an awesome day. We will see you. Peace.